So one of the things I like about this country and the way our political system works is that at some point, these politicians have to leave Washington, D.C., and they have to go back to their towns and they have to face their constituents. And some of these Republicans are going back to their towns, facing their constituents, and finding out that people are not happy with what they're allowing Donald Trump to do. Now, mind you, these are people in red districts who voted for these people, who possibly, probably, more than likely voted for Donald Trump as well. So I don't feel bad for them. But what I want to show you is just how ignorant they think all of us are, but they actually thought their constituents were. And these people are kind of showing that even though they were ignorant to the fact that they didn't think the things that were that are happening today were actually going to happen in this manner, they're not liking it. And these Republican politicians are having a hard time explaining to them why they're allowing Donald Trump to just come through with a wrecking ball and mess shit up. And so I want to show you 3 clips from Republicans having to face their constituents. And it's actually pretty funny, the lies they try to tell these people, and the people are just not going for it.
Also last night, this was Republican Congresswoman Stephanie Bice of Oklahoma.
I'm a registered Republican voter and retired active Army officer. How can you tell me that DOGE, with some college whiz kids from a computer terminal in Washington, D.C., without even getting out into the field, after about a week or maybe 2, has determined that it's okay to cut veterans' benefits?
I think a couple things. Let me give you an example. Did you know that the VA was in charge of payments for illegals for housing? Basically, the VA.
No, I'd like for you to send me. Could you send me that reference so I could research that? Because no, I'm not aware of that. And I would tell you that that's a red herring, a false flag. If you're throwing that kind of political stuff up, trying to cut veterans' benefits, that's very alarming to me.
So take note of what this guy did here, because this is something I've been saying in my videos many times. When someone tries to lie to your face, ask them for proof. Don't just allow them to tell a lie and say, oh, okay, or just believe them at face value. Ask for proof. When she says, did you know that the VA was in charge of buying housing or taking care of illegal immigrants? And he's like, what? Can you send me the proof of that? Because you can tell by her voice she was making that up. She was absolutely making that up. It's not true. And if there was an inkling of truth to it, it still doesn't justify cutting benefits to veterans. It does not justify that. So when he asked that question, that was very intelligent of him. Now, this next guy goes to his town. And, you know, these people are basically saying, when are you guys going to stand up to Donald Trump? Because what he's doing right now isn't working for us. And this guy, again, tries to lie to their faces.
That is the kind of reaction these members are facing, even from Republican voters in Republican districts. This was the scene in West Bend, Wisconsin, with Republican Congressman Scott Fitzgerald. Watch.
When will you stand up to them and say that is enough?
The end result of the fraud and abuse that has been discovered already.
It's funny how they think they can just shout out waste, fraud, and abuse, and people are just supposed to believe it. And here's something that I will tell you guys that needs to be said, that everyone needs to really understand here. Fraud is a crime. Fraud is a crime. So, if Elon Musk and Donald Trump are finding all of this fraud, where are the arrests? Where are the indictments? Where are they? If there's all of this fraud, why is no one being arrested? Name names. Who are the people that facilitated the fraud? Why are they not being arrested yet? What are the government agencies that facilitated the fraud? Why are there no indictments? Stop allowing these people to just run around saying all of the waste, fraud, and abuse. Fraud is a crime. There needs to be names attached to that fraud, which needs to lead to arrests and indictments. Now, this last one. This one is really, really indicative of what we have going on in this country right now. Because when they ask him, what are you doing? What's going on? He starts naming, hey, Donald Trump's done a lot of good things. They're like, boo, boo. And he says he got rid of birthright citizenship. Basically saying to them, hey, he's getting rid of the brown people. He's getting rid of Latinos for you guys. And he expects them to just be like, oh, okay, yeah, because he realizes most of his constituents actually did vote for that.
About an hour away in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, another Republican Congressman, Glenn Grothman, also getting an earful.
President Trump has issued a lot of executive orders. I think by and large this is moving very quickly compared to other administrations, and I think across the board he's done some very good things. I think he's gotten rid of birthright citizenship.
Illegal as hell.
And let me be clear here. These are the people I've talked about many times. These people in these red districts who really just wanted their grocery prices lower, their gas prices lower, their eggs prices lower. They actually thought that was something Donald Trump could do. They didn't understand inflation. They didn't understand that inflation was a global issue and that America was doing the best at that. So they actually voted for Donald Trump for the most part, probably because they thought he was going to take care of gas, groceries, eggs. They were fooled by that. Some of them also thought he was going to close the border and get rid of Hispanic people. That's what they were voting for. So I have no empathy for these people either. But it's so funny to me that he thought, man, they're booing me right now. I got to pull the good one out of the hat right now. I got to let them know the best one we had going for us. Hey, he's getting rid of birthright citizenship. All of you white people in this room who don't realize what he's doing for you, he's getting rid of the brown people. I know you guys wanted lower gas prices. I know you wanted lower grocery prices. I know you didn't want him firing all these federal workers. I realize some of your family members are affected by this. But hey, we're all white here. And he's getting rid of the brown people. Come on, clap it up for that at least. He's shocked that they weren't happy about that. Seriously, that was not by mistake. That was his go-to card. That was his ace in the hole right there. He thought, if I tell these people that they're getting rid of brown people, that's going to bring them back to me. This is what people voted for. This is what they voted for. Someone said in one of my comments, and I absolutely agree, it's not where the country is going. It's where we are right now. We are here right now, and I'm asking everyone, what are we doing about it? What are Democrats doing about it? Are we seeing enough leadership from the Democrat Party that is going to stop this? Are any of these politicians who are being yelled at by their constituents going to go back to Washington, D.C. and shut down the government or vote against this stuff and get rid of all the actual fraud that's happening right now? Is any of that going to happen, or are these people just going to go back to Washington and allow this crap to happen? Because the country is starting to suffer big time from it, and people are starting to realize it. And I just hope that all of this yelling and anger turns into actual action. Because if there's no action behind any of this, it's all worthless. There needs to be action behind the anger. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in they heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.